What is up, geeks? So I have a pretty epic unboxing and review today. I have the whole set of the Toys R Us exclusive Power Rangers movie figures. So we have the Black Ranger starting here. We have the Blue Ranger, we have the Yellow Ranger, Pink Ranger, Alpha 5, and the Red Ranger, who is the hardest one to get for sure. Now, I know I promised this to you guys a while ago, but I have the complete set now. And not only that, I figured that, you can find individual figure reviews for each of these figures online, on YouTube. But what's unique is a unboxing and review that's complete. So I was thinking I would do this more often if I have a complete set of something, or if I have figures of the same wave like I do here. I will do a review with all of these figures together, build the figure as well, and maybe I'll put it into a separate video just if someone just wants to watch the Megazord review. But I will include that in this review as well. So this will be a complete review of all these figures. So it might be a little bit long, but I think it makes sense because, to be honest, all of these molds, you can tell with the female molds, with the yellow and pink ranger, they're the same. The black, blue, and red have similar molds. But, of course, everyone has a different helmet on, so that's the one difference. And, of course, Alpha 5 is the most distinct one out of the group. But I don't see why I would have to waste my time going through and posting and uploading separate reviews. I think what's more unique would be to have a complete review like this. So let me know your comments below and how you feel about this going forward in my reviews. But I will do one epic unboxing right now. It's going to be a huge, fast forward of me unboxing all of these things. And then we'll do the separate review. We'll do, reviews for all the figures all together. So here we go, guys. Alright guys, so it took some time, but we got all of the figures out of the package, and I'm very excited to review them. We're going to go through each figure first, and then we'll assemble the Megazord at the end. But as far as accessories go, the Red Ranger is the only one who technically comes with an accessory. So he has the Power Sword, which looks really nice. It has like that ribbed look to it. It has a translucent type of plastic, so it looks pretty nice. And let's see him with it. Let's have him hold it in his hand. And it's fairly easy to get on there. And it looks pretty good. So I will probably be displaying him with his Power Sword. I loved how he used it in the movie, by the way. So that's pretty neat. And as far as the sculpt, I really dig it. I very much like the sculpt. And as far as the design of the Ranger suits, they really grew on me, because at first I didn't like them. I liked the original one, but now I can't really choose between. I really like both designs, but they did really well applying that design to this figure. What I do like is the attention to detail. So even though this ab crunch kind of covers this up, they still have it, just so that way when he's bending forward, it's still there. So that's a very nice attention to detail. They sculpted up all the way into here, which is very good. I really love when they have that kind of attention to detail. The paint is great. You have some nice chrome finish here for the silver. His morpher, which they didn't really get into. Hopefully they get into that with the second movie. Looks great. I love the paint here. So they did a pretty good job. As far as these figures, I don't know if they are superior to the Mighty Morphin ones. I'm not talking about design now. I'm just talking about the figure quality. These seem to be a little bit cheaper plastic. I don't know. To me, it looks a bit cheaper, but you can be the judge. But I'm very much satisfied with these. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go through the articulation, and then all of them have the same articulation. I'm not going to go through each figure like that, but I will compare the design of each figure in just a bit. So let's just go through our articulation and get that out of the way first. So he has the swivel. He can look up and he can look down really well. He has that much as far as him raising his arm, going in and out, pretty good. He has the double jointed elbows, which is good. He has a nice wrist rotation here. He has a ball joint. He has the nice ab crunch, which we saw. Waist swivel. He can do a split, which is good. Nice upper thigh rotation, double jointed knees, and it looks like they're gonna have nice articulation here. Yep. So we have the ankle rock or ankle pivot. So as far as all the articulation, it's standard, but as far as design, that's what we'll go through right now. So let's compare all of the Ranger designs. So the male ones, here we have Billy and Zach. As you can tell, the design is still the same. Okay? The design, the sculpt work, and the paint. The only difference is, of course, their corresponding Ranger colors. But even the blue here, you can kind of see. So they look really good. But I'll do a full 360 for each figure just to, you know, for those who want that. So this is the Blue Ranger. He looks really good. Then we have Black Ranger. And I'll also go through the helmet designs too to see which differences they have in the figures. I'm not completely sure if they stayed true to it like they did for the movie, but let's see here. You can see there's differences in the helmet design. You can definitely tell there's like a T-Rex. This is more close to the original TV series one, but I don't really see the Mastodon in this black one here. And then of course Billy. You could kind of make out the Triceratops because he has the silver there, like the horns. But it's not as great as the Red Ranger one. So let's bring in the two female characters. We have Kimberly and Trini. So their sculpt work is exactly the same, just different paint, obviously. And the articulation, we'll go through that as well, because there might be a difference from the male body. But I think the Pink Ranger is next as far as the helmet design. They did really well with going close to the show. They had that pointy part at the top. Actually looks pretty similar to Rita's design. Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen the movie, Rita was also the Green Ranger at one point, so she had a very similar helmet design. The Yellow Ranger, I don't really see how it's supposed to be a saber-toothed tiger. But, I mean, these are very unique helmet designs, so I'll give them that. So again, just do a little 360 with the yellow and then the pink. Okay, so let's go through articulation. She can go left and right. Up, not as well, but can go down a little bit. You can raise the arm this much. It has a upper arm cut. Only the single joint elbow here, compared to the male body, they have the double jointed elbow. They do have the ball joint for the wrist. The ab crunch is not as great, but it's there. You have the mid waist cut right there. Let's see. There's an upper thigh cut. They can do splits. You have the double jointed knees, which is nice, and then I think the ankle rotation is exactly the same. So that's good. I mean, the articulation for these figures are very good. As far as the quality, I think they're okay. They're not crazy. I mean, are these... I mean, if you're a Power Rangers fan, I'll say that these are a must-have. But if you're not a Power Rangers fan and you're just a casual fan, I would go for the Mighty Morphin for sure. Much better in quality, I think. But it's cool how you can have the complete set now for these Power Rangers, because we're still missing the Yellow Ranger for the Mighty Morphin series. The Mighty Morphin Wave for the Legacy series. These are still considered legacy figures from Bandai. So let's go through the last figure here. We have Alpha 5. So Alpha 5 is obviously the most unique out of all of them. And as far as the design in the movie, they took the most liberty with him. But you could still kind of like, I mean, he still has that same kind of color palette. So it's not too crazy, but it's definitely different from the original TV series. So I love the shiny paint there. They did really well with the top. Now in the movie, obviously, this is not the way it looks. It has like a, he kind of has like this, you know, space in his head. Just like how they have space in their chest. It's kind of like, you know, it's hard to even explain. You just gotta see it. But I think they did really well with this guy. Again, it kind of looks on the cheaper side, but I mean, these are pretty affordable figures, and they're pretty good for what you're paying for them. I'll say that. As far as articulation, we'll go through it with him. He has a very different style of articulation here. You can pivot all around, and you can move it like that. So he really has a lot of articulation in his head, which is important because he's supposed to be, you know, very eccentric and expressive with his personality. No neck rotation, I don't think. His arm can go up that high. There is no cut in the bicep, but he does have a single jointed elbow. He has wrist articulation, a ball joint. He has no ab crunch or waist articulation. He can't do a split. He could do it this way. He could raise his legs pretty well, but it's in like a diagonal position. He could kind of go in and out a little bit. His knees barely have rotation here, but you could kind of move it forward, which is weird. But he does have decent ankle articulation. It's on a ball joint. So pretty good for Alpha 5. I think he looks pretty nice. Very unique. And so that leads us to the last part of this review. Alright, so we have all the pieces to the Megazord here. And we'll start with the main piece. This actually came with Alpha 5. And that was pretty smart because I'm sure people weren't trying to go for Alpha 5 first. So they made him essential to get because he has the main piece with the head. Obviously all the pieces are essential, but I really love the paint here. They did really well with the look, but I want to go over the details once we get him all together. So let's see, we have the right arm right here. We'll put him, I think these snap on pretty well. That's easy. We have the left arm. Then we have the legs. So one of them came from the Black Ranger, one came from the blue. The arms came from the Red and the Yellow Ranger. So this one's a little bit more tough. There we go. So this is rather tall. There we go. And just one more piece. Actually, two pieces. The wings, which also function as the swords if you saw the movie. And this came from the Pink Ranger. And this should snap on as well. And there we go. Didn't really snap, but here we are, the Megazord. And it looks great. I love the paint. I love the shininess to it. And again, as far as space goes, they have like space with the stars. Kind of looks like the universe, and it's supposed to be here. And I think it's also in the face. But of course you can't really do that with a figure. But this looks really great. Now there aren't any inserts in his hand, so you can't use these as actual swords, unfortunately, but you know, it's not too bad. I really like how they made this a Build-A-Figure, very smart of them. Just like how they have the original Megazord for the Mighty Morphin series as their Build-A-Figure. Once that wave comes out, I know it came out, but they haven't really hit store shelves yet. It's very hard to find the White Ranger and the Yellow Ranger. But this looks great, guys. Love the sculpt. Very detailed. Look at that. Look at the back. Looks really nice. And so let's go over articulation. We have a swivel here. I don't think it really goes up. No, it can't go up or down. And you have to be careful with these Build-A-Figures because they will snap. So you'll just have to reapply the limb, but it can't really go that far up. It can go forward and back pretty well. There's a single joint in the elbow, which is not bad. I don't think there's any wrist articulations, very minimal articulation, but the leg does go up pretty far, you know. You have a single joint for the knee, and I don't think there's going to be any ankle articulation here. Oh, I'm wrong. So there's actually a swivel for the ankle. I don't think it goes in and out. Yep, there is a swivel though, which is not bad. So it's pretty minimal, but I mean, this is a Megazord. You're not planning to do any splits with this guy. So it looks pretty good. I want to compare him though in height with the rest of the Rangers. So let's get them all together. All right, so we have them all lined up. Now, obviously the Megazord is not to scale, but it is slightly larger than the rest of the figures. The male body molds, the red, blue, and black, are slightly taller than the yellow and the pink female body molds. Obviously, Alpha 5 is the smallest one out of the set. But I think, you know, as far as the scale of the other figures, I think they're pretty good. I don't completely remember who's the tallest of the group and such, but, you know, I mean, they kind of use the same body mold, so you can't really expect them to be completely to scale. But you do have nice scale variation with the Rangers and Alpha 5. But, of course, the Megazord, you know, it would be great to have a Build-A-Figure that's as tall as it actually is, as far as the, you know, scale to these figures, but of course your box would be huge. So I think it looks really great all together. I will be displaying them along with the rest of my Rangers from the Mighty Morphin series. So I'll probably take a picture at the end of my almost complete set. I'm just missing the yellow and the white Ranger for the Mighty Morphin series. But thank you guys for watching this long review. Let me know if you like these long reviews with all of the figures, or do you want separate reviews for each figure going forward when it comes to other figures like Marvel Legends or DC figures, or, you know, even pop vinyls. I was thinking of doing sets of that too for reviews, just because, you know, I don't see a lot of people watching single, you know, reviews for these. I think it would be more beneficial to watch the whole set. But it's up to you guys. Please comment below. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned to the end to see pictures of the figures in action. So until next time, embrace, express, and enjoy yourself. May the Force be with you always, my young Padawan.